So this is pretty crazy. So Tucker Carlson on Fox News made a pretty crazy comment. He said, "Contact Child Protective Services if you see kids wearing masks outdoors." So Tucker Carlson is constantly in the news for controversy. This is probably one of the most controversial things he said in recent times. It almost seems like he's trying to get fired. We know Fox News isn't going to do it, but this is a pretty crazy comment. So here are some of his comments. He says, "As for forcing children to wear masks outside, that should be illegal. Your response when you see children wearing masks as they play should be no different from your response to seeing someone beat a kid in a Walmart. Call the police immediately. Contact Child Protective Services. Keep calling until someone arrives." Carlson also said that requiring children to wear masks while outdoors constitutes child abuse and that all Americans, quote, "are morally obligated to attempt to prevent it. If it's your own child being abused, then act accordingly. Let's say your kid's school emailed you and announced that every day after lunch, your sixth grader was going to get punched in the face by a teacher. How would you respond to that?" he asked. "That's precisely how you should respond when they tell you that your kids have to wear masks on the soccer field. That is unacceptable, it is dangerous, and we should act like it because it is. But too few of us have responded like that. We have been shamefully passive in the face of all of this." Um, you know, this is pretty crazy that he's saying this kind of stuff, honestly. Obviously, what you have to understand about the coronavirus, obviously for younger people, it's a lot less likely for younger people to die from coronavirus. But the problem with coronavirus is, let's say a kid is to contract the coronavirus, and then when they go home, they give it to their parents or people that they live with. And those people are much more likely to die from coronavirus. And right now, what you can see is things are opening back up. It's basically going back to normal, especially for these schools and the athletics. And that's really not a safe thing. And so what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a rise in younger people who are getting infected. This is a really bad thing over in Canada. And he does know that there are no coronavirus vaccines for kids right now. They're only available for 16 and above. So they don't even have those, so kids can't even get vaccinated right now. So I'm not really sure what he's talking about. I saw the CDC made a pretty big announcement. They said that that vaccinated people can get together with some unvaccinated people without masks outside, which is a pretty big change, of course. But Tucker Carlson has constantly flipped through on the whole mask issue. He's gone back and forth on this, and has not appeared to have a sort of coherent stance of any kind. He seems to kind of flip-flop. But this is insane, and this is probably one of the most ridiculous comments he's made in recent times. And the problem is, man, once you start, what's going on right now is things are opening back up. I think a lot of people are experiencing fatigue from being inside too much, which is understandable. And so there is a rise of cases right now, which you're seeing going on in India. Even here, there's a rise of cases. So it's not like coronavirus is all of a sudden gone right now. So it's not finished. The pandemic isn't over yet. And people are acting like it, and that's very dangerous. And so try to be cautious. It's okay to be, it's okay to follow CDC guidelines. But again, a lot of times effort is really what matters. If you put on a mask, let's say you're outside playing basketball, you put a mask on your chin, and then if somebody starts coming near you, you plop up your mask, right? Those are good practices to take part in. So you can still do outside stuff, but have the proper precautions. And just understand, there's some things I see, inside businesses, sometimes they'll wipe down. I'll see them wiping down surfaces after every person has used it. That's way overkill, super overkill, especially when we know the main way of transmission is via talking. So being within 6 feet, talking to someone else, the particles, from the mouth go to one of the infection zones, and boom, that's how you catch it. Not really from surfaces. But this is insane. Kids don't even have vaccines right now. It's a very highly contractable virus, so kid can catch it, give it to their relatives, people who they live with, and that is going to create, again, coronavirus is not over yet. The pandemic is not done, and we're seeing actually a rise in cases. I think almost everywhere right now.